What's up guys, today I'm super excited to show you this amazing chess trap in the Tory attack. This is a very high professional trap and many high players have also fallen for this trap. Let's go. So the Tory attack starts with the move d4, knight to f6, and after knight to f3, when black plays the move e6, thinking for the Nimzo Indian defense, we play the move bishop to g5. And guys, this is the Tory attack. This can be a surprise weapon for many of your opponents because it's not played that often, but it's a very strong weapon. After bishop to g5, black goes with d5 because the main idea in the Tory attack, if black doesn't play d5, then we are going to go e4 and have a big fat center. And eventually white would have the advantage. So after d5, we are going to play e3. And after knight to bd7, we are gonna go knight bd2. And after something like c5, trying to break open the center, we're gonna defend our center with move c3. Guys, look at this amazing pawn pyramid by the white camp. So in Tory attack, like the London system, you can form this amazing pyramid and attack your opponent. Most of the time you can take this knight and develop other pieces in attack. Let's move on. So after c3, black plays bishop to e7, and this position looks a bit passive for black because this bishop is not developed, but it's completely fine. If you look at the engine, it's just 0.0, so there's not much advantage here. But again, you can say white has a bit advantage because this black bishop is again very passive. And here black castles and white castles. And again, like QGD, Queen's Gambit declined, this bishop is gonna go on b7 and try to open this big range. So after b6, here there are a lot of moves for white. The best moves are like queen to e2 or knight to e5. But again, as always, I'm gonna recommend you a very tricky move, a deadly move which sets a killer trap. And it's the surprising move, queen to a4. If you look at the engine, it gives a bit advantage now to black because it doesn't really like the move queen to a4 and there's no reason. But again, it's completely fine, there's no problem. After black continues with bishop to b7, here we are going to go knight to e5. And guys, believe it or not, but our trap is set up. After knight to e5, it's all on black because we have set our deadly trap. If black plays something like any random move, let's say a6, then we can just cement this knight with the move f4, and this knight is just glued on the center. And if black plays now something like rook to c8, then you can surprise your opponent with this move rook to f3. And you can see the ideas of white. The simple but effective plan of the white camp is gonna be to get this rook up here, and in some situations you can also go g4 and reroute this queen back to d1 and attack on the king side. And this is going to be a very good game for white because you are only having the advantage. If you go g4, f5, it's just over. I mean, there's nothing. It's just over. You see how much attack is there. You can also double the rooks and bring the rooks. So of course white is better here. Engine gives a bit advantage because there are some ridiculous defenses by the engine, but humans can't, just find that, so just leave that. Again, the most popular move here is again knight takes e5. Okay, not here, but at this moment, if we check the database, the most popular and the highly played move is knight takes e5, and if your opponent takes the knight, then congratulations because your opponent has been fallen into a deadly trap. After d takes e5, this knight has three options, and amongst all of them are really bad. Three options are this, this, and this. Let's look at each of them. So the highest played move is knight to d7, and this is the worst move in all of these. And you see the advantage, it is just 6.4 and eventually just gonna rise up. And many high-rate players have fallen for this trap. Well, how? Well guys, here we're gonna play a killer move. Queen to h4, rerouting our queen, and I think here it's time for your opponent to resign, because here we're gonna be a full rook up. Now there'll be a question in your mind, how are we gonna be full rook up? Well, you have to notice, if black takes your bishop, then that's just checkmate and the game is over. And if it just save the checkmate, then we have two pieces attacking the bishop. So black is now losing completely. It doesn't matter, your opponent continues with g6 or f6. Let's say black plays h6, then we are gonna just take this bishop. And after black moves the queen, let's say queen to c7, we're gonna take this rook. And after the whole transaction, you can see that white is a clear rook up. So guys, knight to d7 is just the worst move, and if your opponent plays that, you are just gonna be very happy. You're just gonna destroy her. The next move, knight to e4, is also not good. Well, we're gonna just take the bishop. If white tries to take our knight, then we can just take the queen and just win the game. So there's no point. So after queen takes e7, you're gonna take this knight. After d takes e4, bishop takes e4. After the whole transaction, you can see that again white merged with a clear pawn up advantage, and white is winning. So guys, now let's look at the best move by the Indian, and it is knight to h5. Well, it's a good move because now there's not much attack. Neither white's getting a pawn up, neither there's much attack. So what should white do here? Well, first we'll trade the bishops, and now we're gonna play bishop to e2, and this poor knight has no defense. I mean, this poor knight can go anywhere. There are only two moves here. If black plays something like queen g5, then f4 is a very strong move, and you can see the advantage here. It's more than 1 point. So you're crushing up here. The only move here for black is g6. And can you find the move here for white? Well, I'm sure you've guessed it. It's, of course, bishop takes h5. And after the whole transaction, you can see that this line is just open, and this is just completely winning for white, because this line is open. We're gonna bring our piece in attack. Let me show you how can you attack. So the main plan is gonna be f4. We can also go with f5, and if there's any possibility, you can just go f6 and just close. The main plan is gonna be rook to f3 and rook g3 and attack the king. We're gonna reroute this queen back to d1 and attack up there. So queen to a4 has like no sense. It's just setting up a trap. But if your opponent doesn't fall for trap, always remember this queen has to go back on d1 and attack up on the king side. And this rook is gonna just get double up. We can go knight f3, knight g5, and eventually it's a very good position for white. Indian gives a slight advantage to white, but again, this looks very strong and crushing. So like Indian has some ridiculous scumbag defenses, but humans can't find that. So yeah. So guys, this was the amazing and high professional chess trap in the tower attack. Now I'm sure if any of your opponent goes in the tower line and you go for the tower attack, then he's gone. Guys, so today it's just this much, and if you guys haven't subscribed right now, then subscribe right now and go check out my amazing videos.